Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we are going to break down one of the most powerful, but honestly often overlooked competencies in all of business: sales and distribution. This isn't just about two separate departments, it's about the powerful combination that really truly fuels sustainable growth. We're going to get into exactly how it works.
Okay, let's just dive right in with a number that should really get your attention. Businesses that truly master the integrated skill of sales and distribution, well, they see 20 to 30% higher revenue growth than their competitors. Now, think about that. That is not a small chunk of change. That is a massive, massive competitive advantage.
So, the big question is, what's their secret? How are they pulling this off? Well, it isn't some super complex financial trick or some brand new shiny piece of technology. Nope, the answer is actually in mastering the powerful synergy between two really fundamental parts of any business. Right? That secret we were just talking about? It isn't one single thing. It's really about the powerful fusion of these two core functions. It's what happens when sales and distribution stop acting like they're in their own separate little worlds, their own silos, and start working as one integrated system. That's when the magic happens, and that's where you unlock a huge competitive advantage. You see, the ultimate goal, the whole point of this, is to create this perfectly seamless flow, all the way from the factory floor right to the customer's front door. And when that entire journey is smooth, efficient, and predictable, it does more than just improve your logistics. It literally transforms the entire business. And what's really interesting here is that these benefits all feed into each other. It's like a virtuous cycle. You get more efficient, which lowers your costs and boosts profits. That gives you a stronger position in the market, which drives even more revenue. And a fantastic customer experience, well, that builds the kind of loyalty that fuels growth for years and years to come. All right, so to really get how these two things connect, let's use a simple but I think a really powerful metaphor: the engine and the highway. This is probably the easiest way to think about it. Imagine sales as this incredibly powerful engine, right? It's generating all the force, all the revenue for your business. But what good is an engine without a road? That's where distribution comes in. It's the modern, efficient superhighway that gets all that power exactly where it needs to go, smoothly and quickly. You could have the greatest engine in the world, but if you're stuck on a bumpy dirt road, you are not going anywhere fast. And this brings us to what this competency really is. It is not about having a great sales team over here and a separate, great logistics team over there. No, it's about a unified, integrated understanding, seeing how every single sale is connected to its delivery and how every delivery path actually impacts your future sales. It's one system, and it's all focused on the customer. So here, you can see the two sides of the same coin, right? Sales is the art. It's about persuasion, building relationships, closing that deal. Distribution, on the other hand, is the science. It's about logistics, strategy, and the physical delivery. True mastery isn't about picking one or the other. It's about engineering the bridge that connects them perfectly. And when you integrate them the right way, you're not just chasing one single goal. Suddenly, you're working towards all four of these crucial objectives at the same time. You're reaching as many customers as possible, you're keeping them incredibly happy, you're doing it all cost-effectively, and you're staying agile enough to pivot the second the market shifts. Okay, so this all sounds great, but how do you actually build this integrated powerhouse? Well, it really requires a specific business toolkit, one that's packed with both the essential knowledge you need to have and the practical, hands-on skills you need to develop. The foundation, where it all starts, is knowledge. You have to grasp customer-centric sales models. We're not talking about old-school pushy tactics here. You've got to understand all the potential paths to get your product to market, direct, indirect, online, and you have to know exactly what value each partner, like a wholesaler or a retailer, brings to the chain. Without this map, you're just driving blind. Okay, next you add the strategic layer on top of that. This is the how-to. This is about managing logistics, designing your market coverage, and this is absolutely crucial: staying ahead of the curve. This means embracing trends like e-commerce, meeting the growing demand for sustainable distribution, and for sure, harnessing data to make smarter, faster decisions. But here's the thing: knowledge by itself isn't enough. It's just the blueprint. To actually build that powerful engine and that modern superhighway we talked about, you need a very specific set of practical skills. And that starts with mastering consultative selling, which is really about solving your customers' problems, not just pushing products at them. It also requires real leadership, the ability to build and inspire a top-tier sales team, and the skill to manage that complex web of external distribution partners.
And the pillars that hold this whole thing up are your analytical and your people skills. You have to be able to look at all that data in your CRM and translate it into smart decisions. And you absolutely need the communication and emotional intelligence to navigate tough negotiations and solve those unexpected supply chain problems when you're under pressure.
So, with the knowledge and skills in hand, what does that path to mastery actually look like? Well, it's not a single step. It's a progressive journey, moving from just having the basic competence to becoming a true strategic leader. You can think about proficiency in 3 key levels. You start out by just supporting the system. Then, you learn to manage it on your own. But real mastery, the advanced level, that's when you stop just managing the system and you start designing it. You're the one shaping the strategy that transforms your entire organization's growth. And here is a 4-step blueprint to get there. And think of it as a cycle, not a checklist. You pursue formal training, then you immediately go out and apply it with hands-on experience. You can validate those skills with certifications. And then, critically, you commit to continuous learning so you can master new technologies and always be ready for what the market's going to do next. So, I'll leave you with this question to think about. Take a hard look at your own organization. Do you have a powerful sales engine? And is it actually connected to a modern superhighway? Because bridging that gap isn't just some small operational improvement, it is where that 30% growth advantage is just sitting there, waiting to be claimed.